All right, saying we're live. We are live. Let me know if you can see. All right, we're live. Okay. All right, so for everybody who's going to watch the playback, my name is Shay. Welcome back to my channel. It's been, I don't know, like roughly 2 weeks since I've been on here.
Too long.
Right. Thank you. And you know, we just gotta come check in. Gotta come check in with the people. Okay. Hi, Amelia. I love you, girl. We gonna wait for a few more people, but I was just telling the playback people that, you know, it's been roughly like 2 weeks since I've been on here, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit once there's some people in here. And how have you been, sis? You been good? Let me know. Hi, everybody getting on here. How y'all been doing? Let me see. Y'all, I got new glasses, so I don't have to squint no more. But it's a crazy reflection, so I'm gonna put them on in a minute. How's everybody been doing? I said I was just gonna come in and touch bases with you guys and let you know like what has been going on for real with me. Amelia says, yes, I have been wonderful, and I'm so happy to hear that. Hi, Happy Natural. It's good to see you guys. It's November 1st. That's crazy, like mind-blowing. The year is almost over. Hi, Megan. My sis. Hi, Miss Vicky. Franny. Hi, guys. I missed you guys so much. So, I have some topics that I want to discuss tonight. And I talked to Megan about one of these topics. And I just want to dig deeper into that. Hold on, let me pull it up. I named it in the description of this live. Where did the year go? Girl, listen. So the topics for tonight, emotional detachment. Okay, I want to dig really, really deep into this. Hold on, let me put my glasses on, y'all. Emotional, but it's such a crazy glare, and I don't want to do that to y'all. But emotional detachment is one of the things we're going to talk about. Self-sabotage is the second thing we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about patience. And then if you guys have anything y'all want to say, any questions, y'all know how we chop it up. We're going to do it, you know, just how we always do it. Am I missing any questions or anything? Hi, D.
Listen, don't tell her hair looks good, because as far as she's concerned, it looks terrible.
My hair laid. It was. Till I started sweating and acting crazy.
You wasn't sweating.
I was sweating.
I thought it was from the rain.
I was sweating. A little rain hit it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Professor Shay, oh gosh. Don't do me, D. Does anybody have anything they want to say on these topics? I know I'm chewing gum. Hold on.
We're going to do another one, too.
I'm being ghetto. We going to do love?
Yeah, we going to do love.
We got to hit them with the basics?
We're going to call it, I hope you don't love me the same way you do.
Ooh, okay.
I'll get it when
it's different. Okay, so should we dive in? It's the glasses for me. Let me put my glass.
Go ahead. Let's dig. Let's get it.
Yeah, it's no need to prolong, but I did want to say this. So y'all know how I get like people who have been on the channel and you follow this channel for a minute. You know how I get? I disappears. Okay, hi Z.
Oh, come on.
I disappears sometimes, and you know, a lot of it is just from my own emotional being. Okay, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, like, and sometimes I'm not okay. We get to these points in life where we're just not okay, and it goes a lot with what we're about to talk about. So emotional detachment, right? I realized in my life recently that I've always had the uncanny ability to detach, right? And when I say that, I'm not talking about I stopped loving people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, you know, I can't, or it's hard for me to love people. That's not what I'm saying. But when I say emotional detachment, I'm talking about the fact that there are triggers, right? And people who have been like emotionally abused. Turn that back on. I'm sorry.
Well, it
Please
takes the glare off.
Oh. When people who have been like emotionally abused, it's okay. When people have been like emotionally abused, you have this ability to just detach. And it's like a defense mechanism, right? And I would go through things when I was younger, and I would hear people saying certain things, and I would just completely detach. Like, it's not that I didn't care. It was just to protect myself. And so now that I'm grown and I'm 31 years old and I'm very aware of myself, I realized that I never stopped detaching, right? Okay, so let me just be transparent, because this is a transparent channel. Like, I can't get on here being anybody else but myself. So, like, I would just, detach. And it goes into the same topic of self-sabotage in relationships and things like that. You get so detached, it's self-sabotaging almost. Like, you can be detaching from, emotional abuse. Let's use that. We could be detaching from emotional abuse, and then it's like, you get so detached that you don't know how to reattach, and it's hard for you to let people in, and it's hard for people, to get close to you in that type of way. Did you feel like when you married me, have you seen some of that? I'm gonna ask you that. Have you seen the emotional detachments? Don't smile.
The person that I know today is nowhere near the person that I married. If you put both of you in a room together, I wouldn't even know the person that you've changed so much. So yes, I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it to me. I've seen you do it to other people. But
it's like I have triggers, right? Like, we all get triggered sometimes. Ooh, wait, that was a good one. But we get triggered. And if there's like, it could be two completely different situations, but if I feel like it's hitting that same emotion, I'm going to go into detachment mode, not realizing that I've done that for so long.
But you're basing the things that you're going through in the present moment off of past things, which is never good.
It's like learned habits.
Oh,
it's like, it's something that you like, oh, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not who you are.
No, I agree.
The detachment is not who you are.
Right.
It's the farthest from who you are, but because of what you've been through.
Do you think I do
detach.
that?
Absolutely.
Oh, I see. I don't think I do that at all.
Baby, you do it. I hate to break it to you. In marriage, a lot of men do it and they just walk away. Like, we talked about this before. Some men just walk away. Like, it's literally a detachment. That's a detachment issue, right? But I do have some scriptures for it if you want to just keep going.
See, now, I don't think walking away is. Like, I'm walking away for a whole different reason. I'm walking away. How many times have I walked away from you and came back and said, all right, you're right, I was wrong?
But I told you, it's not like, you stop loving somebody. Because a lot of people are emotionally abused, whether it's your parent doing it, whether it's, bad relationships, your husband, your wife. When people are emotionally abused, they often don't know that they're emotionally abused.
Yeah, no kidding.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, this is just how I am and how this is.
So how do you think that you, how do you think you overcome it?
You just have to be aware of yourself. Like, again, I'm working on myself daily. I never stop working on myself and understanding patterns in my very own behavior.
There's nothing worse than hearing the statement, well, this is just who I am.
Right.
Nothing worse.
Right.
Because that means that you're putting yourself into a box and saying, I can't grow to be a better person.
That's it. So I never put myself in a situation where I can't grow. Like, that's the same thing with learning. A lot of people get to the point where they're like, oh, I'm done learning. But that's not us.
No.
Let me tell you something. Whatever he learns, he is like the keeper of all unnecessary knowledge. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I just look at him sometimes and be like, why do you know that? You know, like, why do you know that? But like every single day, we have to learn.
Every day I try to say something to my wife to fill her with something other than what she would normally be looking into. I'll just give her little tad bits in. It could be something as stupid as, hey, do you know turtles? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, or, like crazy. I'm like, what? I never knew that. But it's like, we can't stop growing. Same thing spiritually, same thing just knowing yourself. Like, you want to get into a relationship, know yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get further in life, further in your career, know yourself.
Yep.
Like, know yourself. So, emotional detachment. And again, it goes with the self-sabotage thing. So, the whole self-sabotage thing, there's a whole background to it. 2 weeks ago, I think this was right before my birthday, and I couldn't sleep one night. I could not sleep one night. I was just so restless, and I was just like, what is going on? So I did what I always do. I prayed. You know, I prayed, and I'm just like, you know, Lord, what is going on? So after that, self-sabotage literally dropped in my spirit. Now, at this point, I was already off of YouTube. Now, I'm being transparent. I was off YouTube for like a couple days or something like that. Few days maybe. And self-sabotage dropped in my spirit. And I'm like, self-sabotage? That's crazy. So then I began to think about all the times where I self-sabotaged. And I'm like, I have self-sabotaging ways, you know, like, that's not good.
I think that a lot of it comes from family.
Right.
Your whole entire family loves doing that.
Yes. And you know, one of the things that I realized about self-sabotage is that it's insecurity. A lot of it. We get insecure about our careers. We get insecure about ourselves, the way we look. We get insecure about, really, you could be insecure about everything. You could be insecure about your car, where you live at. Like, it's so many things that you could be insecure about. And, you know, you get to self-sabotaging. You think, oh, no, nobody could come into my life and love me like this. Let me self-sabotage it. Let me sabotage it. You know what I mean? Let me do something to make this person, you know, walk away or be angry with me. Let me run my mouth to the point where, you know,
he's just done.
He or she is just done. We self-sabotage relationships and all of these types of things, right? So let me tell you this. Do you know that night I laid there and self-sabotage was just in my spirit, and I woke up and I got a text. I got a text from Chatasia. I don't know. Y'all might see her in the comments sometime. She said, you know what? I want to talk to you. I want to share this with you. Do you know this girl called me? Shout out to Chatasia. Do you know she called me? And she said, you know what? I have to share this with you. God gave me this about self-sabotage. This is the very next day. And I said, you know what? What did you just say? I'm on the phone like, ain't no way she just said this to me. There's no way. And then I'm like, yes, it is. That's God. That's confirmation. And I was supposed to give this video weeks ago. But again, I got into self-sabotage mode. But anyways, she calls me and she's like, you know, about self-sabotage and how we self-sabotage relationships. And we get so wounded from certain people and certain things that we just completely shut down. We shut off. We don't let people in. And that's self-sabotaging. Right? So that blew my mind. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, this is something that not only me, not only Chatasia need, but we all need to talk about self-sabotage. And I began to think about how I was self-sabotaging with this channel. Let me tell y'all how frustrated I get with this channel and YouTube. Let me talk about how I talk about real situations. I talk about real things that people don't want to necessarily touch on. I talk about things that people don't want to talk about. And YouTube literally tried to silence me. I don't know if y'all realize it, but we have quite a bit of subscribers on this channel. Mm-hmm. And the views ain't adding up. Mm-hmm. The views and all of that stuff is not adding up. Like right now, there would be more people if this were some other crazy channel and they doing stupid stuff and they dancing or something like that. There will be more people in the live chat. But I get so frustrated and I get so discouraged sometimes, because it's like, why are they trying to play me? And I get so like upset that I just shut down. And I realized that I was doing that with YouTube. I'm like, it's just like no point.
I'm always trying to. So she goes through this a lot with this in this area.
So much.
I'm constantly trying to reassure her and encourage her and say the right things to get her going. So when you see somebody that's doing this to themselves, you have to stand up and say something. There's got to be a point where you say, okay, do you not realize what you're doing here? And explain the situation and break it down to them. Because quite honestly, half the time that she's on here, she wouldn't be on here if I wasn't in the background going, oh no, this is happening today.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting on here today.
Right.
And you cannot allow anything, nothing. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the situation is, who it is, what. You cannot allow anybody to stop you. So just because YouTube is doing something, or your boss at work is doing something, or your parents or your husband or your wife is putting up a block in front of you, do not allow that to. You either kick that block over, you find a window to sneak through. There is always a way to be able to get around the block that's up in front of you. Don't ever give up and say, all right, I just can't do it, I'm done.
Right.
And which is where she gets sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But you have, and also surround yourself with people that will cheer you on.
Absolutely. Don't
surround yourself with the people that are like, see, we told you this wasn't going to work.
Absolutely.
Or, that was too hard to do anyway. Don't put those people around you.
Right. And I don't get to a point where I'm like, I'm done with YouTube. I get to a point where it's like, I'm discouraged with YouTube at times, but I know that I have to do it. And that's the struggle that I go through. Like, knowing that I have to finish out strong. And the fact that it's like, okay.
But you know what though? The content that's made to get people to think, or see,
people don't want to think.
YouTube doesn't want you to think.
Right.
These corporations that are selling you these ads on here, and they don't want you to think. They want you to be mindless drones who just go through life and just buy up all their junk and all their garbage they're going to sell you. So why would they want you to, put some thought into anything? So a lot of times the people with things that are really important that they have to say are the ones that get pushed down to the bottom. Right. Or if you're speaking out about the agendas that they would disagree with you people, about, then they're going to push you down too.
Absolutely.
Eventually, what will happen with all this is, one day, somebody's going to get smart and start another video streaming platform that rivals YouTube. Mm-hmm. Because right now, this is the new TV. Mm-hmm. What you guys are watching now is the NBC, ABC, CBS of our time in black and white back then. So eventually, there's going to be other networks that we can all go to. And it'll all be separated by content. So as of right now, it's just the push through season.
Absolutely. And
everybody's got that season where you got to push through and grind.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's so hard. Like,
but if nothing great or worth having isn't.
It's easy.
You wouldn't care about this if 100,000 people showed up on here right now out of the blue. Boom. You wouldn't appreciate it as much. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't. It would be like, well, it just happened. Versus the grind of it.
Right.
You know, the getting down in the mud and getting it from nothing. That's when you start appreciating something.
Right.
That's when the strength of, you know, who you are shines through.
And sometimes it's hard to get your strength up. Like, you know, Franny asked the question, I'm going to put this on here. Franny asked the question, she said, when you say self-sabotage, do you mean putting yourself down? But in what way? Like not caring about yourself or not caring of yourself? And I'm going to say, for me, it is, you do put yourself down in certain ways, or you get so like consumed in your thoughts that you're just like down because you can't keep thinking, oh, you know, all the negative without coming down, right? That's why they say, you know, when you start thinking negative, you know, think about something positive. But in self-sabotage, you have your moments where you're just like so consumed in the negative that you don't actually take the time to think about anything positive.
See, now I feel myself going down, I don't even allow it to get in there.
Right.
I don't. Once I feel it coming, because everybody goes through this.
Absolutely.
Everybody, it's just how you deal with it. And I always tell you, and I'm going to tell them too, you can't even allow these thoughts to get in your mind. Once they start creeping up, you got to say, I know what this is, and I'm not going to allow this to happen because I've came from here to this point, from whatever you were in. I've done this or I've done that. I've gotten here. So you can't even allow those thoughts to start creeping in.
Absolutely.
Because once they do, they will run wild. They will have you thinking crazy stuff.
Absolutely. So if you take your mind and you just start thinking about all the negative stuff, you don't even need the devil for that. You don't need Satan to mingle with your mind.
You're doing it for you. You're doing it for him.
Yes. And it's hard to come out of that, but you can come out of it, you know? I'm just putting a few of these. I'm putting a few of these up here, Megan.
I'm the type of person that likes the challenge. I like the grind. I like being in the mud. That's where I thrive. That's where I do the best. And if I was to let any of those things get in there, I'd fall apart. I'm carrying a family of, you know, you and our kids, and we'd all be in the street if I allowed that to happen.
That's true.
So, you know, you need to look and say to yourself, you know what? I have these responsibilities that are mine. Whether it be your children, your parents, even your car note, whatever it is, this is the responsibility I have. And if I allow these thoughts to get into my head and run crazy, I'm not going to have them anymore, and everybody's going to suffer for it.
Wait, so let me just pause you real quick because this just popped in my spirit, right? Some people, when I start talking about self-sabotage and how that was confirmation, this just dropped in my spirit that a lot of people are self-sabotaging their relationship with Christ. You know, we get to a point where we're in sin and we be like, you know what? I'm a sinner. God can't possibly love me that much to where he will forgive me. And we just go off the deep end and just straight up into sin. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that's one of the self-sabotaging things also. You know, it's not necessarily... No, yes, it is. But, you know, that's one of the main things that Christ is concerned with in this moment. Because I know if he gave me that and then confirmed it with Chatasia, that's something that people are doing. And you may not even know you're doing it. You may just be running. I used to do that all the time. I would just run from Christ. I knew I was in sin. I knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So I would just continue to do what I wanted to do until I got knocked down on my face, not realizing I was self-sabotaging my biggest blessing.
Do you know we're running this without a microphone?
Can y'all hear me? OMGZ. OMGZ.
So, yeah.
Oh, come on.
I don't even know where it went.
Oh, Megan says you have to be aware of it and start to trust who God has placed in your life. When you're so strong, sometimes it's hard to lean on other people, and that's facts. D says you're limiting yourself, which you are. let's put this microphone. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys can hear me, but I'm pretty sure y'all would have held me down and said, girl, we cannot hear you. D says, yeah, I'm married, but I find myself just walking away in that aspect. Yes.
I'm not married. Isn't that what he said?
Oh, it said I'm not married. Lord, I got my glasses and I can't even.
So, real quick, I just want to say this real quick to the fellas out there. If you want to know who the girl is that you're dating, you're out here courting, and take a look at her grandmother and her mother. And within 2 hours, if you really pay attention, you'll be able to see who this girl really is.
Excuse you.
Because these are these are traits that come from there.
Right.
These you did not pick up on your own.
That's true.
You didn't figure this out on your own.
See how,
see the dynamic.
The dynamic, right.
And then that'll tell you who this girl is and the problems that you're going to have to, even if it's your wife and you're not really sure how to go about, fixing your relationship, pay attention to what goes on in that situation, and that'll give you all the answers you need right there on the things that your wife needs from you. I watched a lot and saw a lot of things, and I knew the areas that my wife needed help with. And it can really help your relationship, because what my wife's speaking about right now and the things that she's dealing with are the things she's inherited and that were there before she was even born. She was going to get these regardless.
The anxiety.
Yes. The self-sabotage.
The self-sabotage,
I've seen it firsthand.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So, and you can fix, as a man, you can fix any problem that's under your roof. It just takes time and patience to do it. Mm-hmm. It won't happen overnight. And this is with any of the topics we bring up. The things that you're trying to work on aren't going to happen overnight. And again, this goes back to the hard work situation. You wouldn't want them if they did just miraculously fix themselves overnight. You'd go right back to it. So it's the grind on getting it is what makes it precious to keep. Diamonds aren't created in 3 hours.
Right.
Or 8 hours while you're sleeping. It takes years of pressure to make it. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's valuable.
Come on. Okay. Did you have any topics? Or, I have a scripture. I want y'all to read it on emotional detachment, or for emotional detachment, okay? He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That's Psalms 147:3. This is why we have to be consistent in our prayer lives. We have to be consistent, because let me tell you something. It's so easy to allow your mind to wander, but only God can give perfect peace. And that's facts. And even when you know God, I feel like we struggle the most, okay? Because we know God, but we also are here in this world. And that is a difficult task. Just the balance of it all. Knowing that we're in this world, but we're not of it.
Shout out to Avon Music. I haven't seen you in here before. I think you're new.
Hi, Avon.
Shout out to you.
A scripture for self-sabotage. Let me see. John 14:18. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. And another one is 1 Peter 5:10. And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore you, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. That's the one right there. I love that one. Did I just get Amelia? Hold on. Amelia, I don't know if you want me to put this. After my attempted rape 6 years ago, I didn't think God could use me. Wow. That was, I'm putting it on here. People need to see this, because a lot of rape victims and things like that need to see this. After my attempted rape 6 years ago, I didn't think God could use me. That was what the enemy wanted me to think, especially since I was trying to get back on track. Glad I am on fire for Christ now. And sis, that is I'm proud of you. Because me and Megan were talking about this, how rape victims and people who have struggled with sexual abuse, they have the tendency to emotionally detach too. And you start sleeping with people, searching for a feeling. and you're not getting that feeling because the emotional part of sex is already detached. You know, it's just something that you do. You may not even enjoy it, but sexual abuse victims deal with that detachment. But sis, I'm proud of you.
I want to bring something up real quick.
Okay.
A man topic.
Okay.
Can be a woman topic too. Actually, it's an everybody topic. Is standing on your morals. Mm-hmm. There are so many people out there that will say one thing in public, and then when you get behind your door at home and it closes and it locks, you say the total opposite. Because you don't want to be judged out in public. You don't want people thinking any less of you. Or I'll be the first one to tell you right now, in front of everybody, my son will not wear fingernail polish. Mm-mm. He won't have his hair dyed. Mm-mm. I don't accept homosexuality at all in my home in any capacity for any reason. I don't care what it is. I don't go with any of this music. None of it. I don't deal with it. I don't allow it to happen in my home. I make it known while we're out in the community that that's not what's going on here.
It's wrong.
Nobody said... Listen, half the time, the things you see on the internet, they ain't real. Nobody has ever once had nobody's had the fortitude to come and say anything to me about the way I think or the way that I parent or husband my wife. So stand on your morals. There's so many guys out there allowing everything to fly, and that's how we're in the situation that we're in now. I keep seeing all these things, a famous person will say something in public and then 3 days later back up and say, oh, I didn't mean that, or that's not how I meant it, or any... No.
The example.
I said what I said, and I'm standing on what I said, and that's it. Period. I don't care if I'm canceled. Cancel me. Go ahead.
Right.
Don't care.
Right.
But they have allowed money to be their God and their guide. Mm-hmm. So they're so afraid of that faucet of money being turned off that they're willing to go back and just switch up everything.
And apologize.
And they're leading us all wrong. What happens, what happens with all these entertainers and all these singers and rappers and everything? They say all this wild, crazy stuff when they're new. The minute they get some money, they change up totally what they're saying. And they switch it all up. And then you're like, wait a minute, what happened to such and such? When did that turn to this? And they've already led your kids down the wrong path, and your kids are dumb. They don't know any better. They're kids. So, so now they're living this lifestyle that they thought was right, all because they listened to their famous artist or movie star or whatever. And now they're lost out in the middle of the field with no way back. So, men, be men. And women. And women, be women. So, don't be afraid.
So, husband is fired up because, I want to say last week, I don't know if you guys seen, but Floyd Mayweather, he was at some event and some fan wanted to take a picture with him, but he was like, no, I'm not taking a picture with you because you have your nails polished. And it went viral, and I guess he received a little backlash from it. And the next thing you know, he's at
a Laker game with painted fingernails.
Right. Floyd had his nails polished as I'm sorry, I guess. But the thing is one thing about me, y'all already know, I used to call this channel I Said What I Said. The I Said What I Said channel. Yeah. You remember that?
Yep.
Megan and Franny might remember that, but I said exactly what I said, and I'm not gonna fold just because, y'all saying I should. Just like the head wrap girls. They used to come bothering me on here. Oh, you need to have your hair wrapped up. I'm like, sis.
Go wrap that thing around your mouth and not your head.
I'm free from that. And I said what I said. Like, y'all can't sway me, to feel differently
Yeah, I agree.
Once I'm set.
I agree with what he said, but it was the fact that he turned around a couple of days later and painted his nails.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you either with it or you not.
Yeah. But my thing is, it's like, it's too many people, and money is their god. So, of course, you're going to see celebrities going back on what they said, because without your fans, you ain't making no money. But
that's it. I would rather be in the gutter than put a dress on.
Right.
I'd rather be in the gutter than paint my nails. I would rather die than watch my son sashay down the runway.
Right. That's facts.
I am not exaggerating. My wife will tell you I would give my life for it.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it. I would give my life to save my son.
And these people,
our boys are so precious right now. Mm-hmm. All of them.
Mm-hmm. Made in God's image.
Aggravated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's because I see all the ridiculousness now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the trolling, the doing the
rappers
extra
out
stuff.
here running around with dresses on, ones that I wouldn't even think would be like that, running around with dresses and then talking about, oh well, this skirt just got me a bag. That's what you're going with,
right?
That's the thing. Like, that's what you do realize, these young, but that just goes, men, be the role model in your home. Mm-hmm. Don't allow your son to look out. You need to step up and be the role model in your house.
Like, men don't really understand the capacity of their power.
You know what? And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't either for a little bit. I really didn't. I didn't get it. And it wasn't until I had a son that it really hit me. With a girl, I was different. I parent her. I treat her different. I say different things to her. I love on her. I do things that I would never, ever be caught doing in public. Like, ever. For my daughter. So she knows how her husband should treat her. She should look at a man and say, oh, if you can't do if you can't do more for me than what my daddy does, I don't need you in my life. Mm-hmm. That would stop many, many young pregnancies.
That's facts.
If you can't do what my daddy does, then you need to get to stepping. But with my son, I started realizing, oh, he's mimicking me.
Yes.
Oh, he's trying to act like me right now. I see him doing things to his mother that I do. He's doing what I do to his mom because I'm her husband. So he's opening doors. And then I thought, oh, I have a whole different responsibility. My father raised me the way he wanted me to be. My grandfather, my father, my uncle, all raised me to the way they wanted me to be. And now it's my job, and I didn't realize that's what they were doing back then. Now it's my job to do that to my son and get him, and it's way harder for my son than it was for me. I didn't have boys running around wearing dresses. I didn't see cartoons where, there was mother, father under the same roof.
Yeah, that's wild.
None of that happened. There wasn't men kissing in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, my men role models had it easier than I do. So it's up to me to push even further. Now I have to overdo it.
Right. I'm trying to look for the picture.
It was a video.
Oh.
It was a video.
I'm trying to find a video where he had his nails polished.
I could probably find it.
Where Floyd had his nails polished. I can't find it.
It's on YouTube. It actually had a whole bunch of views.
OMG.
It said,
okay.
It was some guy I think the title was something like Floyd, Show Us Your Nails. Or something like that. So
Franny says, that's honestly a blessing to raise a son the right way. He is blessed. But you know what? It's hard.
Do
you know I wake up in, I'm not going to say a panic, but I wake up in, I don't want to say a panic, but I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and worry. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes.
And this is why it's important. And this was
recently.
This is why it's important to be married when you have children, because
you're covered.
Yeah, because you only have so much control when you're outside of the home. And women think what women have their idea of what it's like to be a man, so they portray that on the boy when in reality it's not. There's a lot of things I say to my wife. She'll say, well, he's not doing this, and I got to explain to her it'll come. You just need to, he needs to grow into it. You're expecting it right off the bat when he isn't capable of those things yet. So, women have an idea, and then you portray this idea on this boy, and it's the wrong thing. There's there's male to male social cues that you won't understand or won't get or don't even know they exist to instill in him
without the father in the house. And fathers, if you're not in the house, then you need to step up even further and push as much as you can to get that boy with you as much as possible. I don't care if it's you picking him up for 15 minutes every day just to, have a conversation real quick and check in and, how was school, just little things. Because a lot can be accomplished in a little amount of time. All isn't lost. If you've made the mistake of having children without being married, you can still fix it. It's just gonna take a little bit more work to do. But you can do it. You can do anything. You're a man. And men we can do anything. Absolutely. All we have to do is set our mind to it and don't quit, don't give up, and don't let the others around you dictate who you think, tell you who you're supposed to be. You be who God intended you to be. Facts. You cut me off. Can I go? I could go now, Dad.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, Franny said it's a blessing to raise a son, and it truly is. However, in these days, it is really, really intense, and it's really, really hard to raise a son in this crazy world. I ain't gonna hold you, because in any type of way that Satan can slip in a gay message, or a boy in a dress, or a boy in a wig and makeup, he's gonna do so. And I realize that. So late, or not lately, but like often, it just happened the other day. I woke up in worry. I did. It wasn't like a panic, but it was worry. And I got super emotional at like 3 a.m. I woke out of my sleep, and I was just beginning to pray, beginning to pray for my son and my nephew, this school district, all of the boys, and I was just asking God to protect my son. It's just so easy. If you leave one little crack for Satan to try to move in, he will do that. So you have to make sure that you're tightening up on what your kids are watching, what they're listening to, what they're saying, their body language. You need to be very aware, and your discernment needs to be on 100. Okay, do not let your kids stay out at just anybody's house. Don't allow that. Like, don't allow your kids and stuff to be out with just anybody at their friends' houses. Like, you have to be very careful. You need to know who's in that house. You need to know, and discern their spirits also. Yeah,
we let you can.
Hi, Devin.
We let our daughter, who is a little older than our son, we let her friends come over here.
Her friend.
Yeah, her friend. because we in the beginning, that's what we did until we got to know the parent and everything. Because we know what's going on here. We know there's no funny stuff. And my wife can say to another parent, my husband isn't on any of that. That's the furthest thing. He'll protect your child like it's his own when she's in this house.
Right.
So, yeah, just be careful.
Absolutely. So, again, and just being a young man in this world, where they're just forcing this stuff, and it's an agenda, and it's just, something that people are just doing. You have to be very careful and cautious. Like Devin just entered the chat. Devin's like 13.
Oh yeah.
He's
What's up, Devin?
a kid, you know, and they're putting these things in commercials, and you know, he's slow, like Satan is slowly just like throwing it at them, and I'm just so disgusted, honestly, at the fact that, you know, this is happening. But I also know that it is written. I also know that it is written that in the last days that this will happen.
Because if you can break down men, you can take over everything.
You can take over everything. And that's the goal, you know. I'm
sorry for going off like that, my love.
No, you fine, babe.
It aggravates me.
They know how you go.
It aggravates me.
The agenda is being pushed on girls as well. Absolutely. But let me tell you this. Like, you know, Avon, my husband and I, we focus more on the men because we understand the dynamic, God's order.
Women, yeah, but also women, you guys are more mature than us. You mature faster at a younger age.
But I was gonna say that we accept when men do this stuff. That's the issue. We accept it. So yeah, it's an agenda being pushed on women. However, if women would get it together and stop allowing this, there would be less single mothers. There would be less women, you know, in lesbian relationships. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I feel you. If you don't allow the foolishness
with the men, there wouldn't be a lesbian agenda.
Listen, men only do what women allow. If women say stop wearing your pants down around your knees, it's not attractive, we don't find it sexy, and guess what? Those pants would be all the way up to their noses. Mm-hmm. Men only do. We are here to serve women.
Yeah, that's facts.
And stop letting men just run up in your house.
And listen, wait. Say that again.
Men are here to serve women.
And listen, so although, you know, men are attracted to men these days, they're still serving women, okay? Because they're doing their hairs.
Yep.
They're doing their makeups. They're doing, you know, best friends. And they're doing all the things that cater to women still. Because that is your job as a man. As a boy, you want to serve your mom. You love your mom. You want to cater to her needs. But Satan found a way to twist that. So you're not catering to this woman who you were supposed to marry. You're catering to her in a different way because Satan has twisted it. And you're doing her hair now. Yep. You're fixing her makeup. So the dynamic and, you know, what it was supposed to be never changed. Only the actions changed.
No.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like women, or Franny says, women, we move with our hearts. We need the manly men to guide. Yeah. Absolutely. And if we keep accepting this and we keep and you know what, it made me so mad. So let me tell you something. I have a burner page. I'm not gonna hold you. I have a burner page on Instagram, and I go and I look, and I go and I stay on top of like what's going on. And anytime there's like a gay guy and he's dancing, or you know, he's in a wig and he's doing a funny skit or something, I don't think that's funny. Yeah, but there are only women in the comment sections, cracking up, laughing. It's laughing emojis. You know what I'm saying? It's laughing my butt off or laughing my A off, and I'm just like, what is so funny? Because y'all laughing, but y'all is a lot of single women. Like, this is why y'all single. This is why, because we keep accepting this and thinking it's cute and thinking it's funny, and it's not funny.
And sometimes a good man doesn't have the flashy stuff that, you know, that
it's portrayed online.
Yeah. Listen, those things aren't real.
Right.
Most of that stuff is all rented, or it's fake. Or, you know, they're sitting on somebody else's car. Or, like, listen, if you got a good man who goes to a factory job every day and works his tail off, that's a good man. You know, sometimes you're not going to get it the way you want it. Sometimes it doesn't, all the things that you want aren't going to show up. But I'll tell you what, my wife was extremely patient with me, and now my only happiness lies in how I make her happy. And there's a lot of men out there that are like that.
Absolutely.
And they're out there at construction sites, and in factory jobs, and doing these things. Just because he isn't driving a new Benz doesn't mean he's not a great man.
Right. We get so focused and caught up in
material
in La La
garbage.
Land, in Instagram and all of this stuff. Like, that stuff is just an illusion. It's for people to, you know, be jealous of that person. Like, why else would you post?
Right.
Like, why else? It's because you want the envy. You thriving off of that. You want people to envy your life, and it's not even really your life. Like, you're not living like that for real. Because if you were, you wouldn't even want people to, you know everything you have. Because then you'll be constantly living in fear of being robbed. Constantly being in fear that your bank gonna close down with all of your millions of dollars. You're constantly in fear of all of these things. You know, it's an illusion. And we get so caught up in the social media life that we lose track of reality. Yep. And the reality is that these, I hate to go back there, but these men, I'm seeing more and more men in wigs and doing skits like women. And it's just like mind blowing to me. And it's all women, just, yes, congratulations. Yep. And like, it's not like, we got to get it together.
Yep.
Happy Natural says the feminist movement has destroyed the mindset of many women, amongst other things. Right. It's so true. Like, I come from, you know, a very independent mother. She was married, got divorced. So then she was a single mother with 4 babies to raise. And I saw her be overly like independent. And you know, we've all seen strong women, you know, with their independence and all of this stuff, but not realizing you turn into a man.
Can I say something?
Yes.
To the point, well, can I say something about your mom?
What do you want to say about?
To the point where she's married today, and she's still the man.
Like, she's
the man of the relationship.
Like, yeah.
Like, and you have to be very careful, women, when doing stuff like that, because a man needs to be a man.
Absolutely.
He has to take out the garbage.
Right.
He doesn't want you hanging something. Like, don't hang a
doing
picture.
the siding on the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be out there with a hammer in your hand talking about, I'm about to build a deck. Like, excuse me? I yell at my mother-in-law all the time for this. Put that down. Yeah, your husband's right there.
No, for real.
Like, what are you doing out here? Yeah, I hurt my back. I'm like, what were you doing? I was in the dirt. Well, there you go.
No, for real. So, my husband always gets on my mother, like, about her defense mechanism.
Yep. Because
that is a defense mechanism, is you know, trying to overcompensate for all of those years you were a single mother. So you had to do everything. If something broke, you had to fix it. If, you know, that was a defense mechanism that my mom still has.
Absolutely.
So,
and I'm constantly trying to get her to, you know, get out of it. I love my mother-in-law. She's a funny, funny lady. Well, I crack up sometimes. But anyway, Megan, Franny, your man is coming. God's got one out there for you.
He absolutely does. All my single ladies on here. Amelia, Miss Vicky, like, and don't rush it. It'll come when it's time. I think this is a nice time to go into our next topic, which is what? Patience. We had to throw this in there because a lot of times we get like discouraged about not moving at the pace that we want.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it weighs so heavy on us that we get depressed almost.
Yep.
But patience is everything. One thing that I realized is that, the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
no matter what it is,
if you come across your wife, your husband today, and you're not ready emotionally, mentally, spiritually, then you could potentially ruin what God has or delay it.
Yep.
You could run somebody away.
Absolutely.
And then, you don't see him for the next 6 months.
Yep.
But that was 6 months y'all was supposed to be building.
Yep.
Y'all was supposed to be getting to know each other.
Yep.
So do not rush God's timing. And I still battle back and forth with patience. Because it's like I know where I'm going. And it's not that I'm rushing to get there. But it's like, what do I do right now while I'm waiting? You know what I'm saying? And, sometimes when people are waiting to be courted or, they want to be married and stuff like that, it's like, okay, I know I want to be married. But what do I do right now? And then in this single, when you're single in this era, it's like, what are you doing? You on Tinder. You swiping left. Not realizing that your husband's not going to be on Tinder. Your husband's not going to be on one of them things. You know what I'm saying?
Did we ever tell them
that's for worldly people. Yeah,
we did.
That's for worldly people. Yeah. But your husband, your wife, you're going to find in a random place.
Yep.
Super random. That's why I tell y'all,
when you're not looking.
Women, when you single, don't you leave your house without your hair done. Don't you have on no bonnet. Make sure you are dressed and looking decent. Okay, because you never know.
Yep.
Today might be the day, and I don't want y'all to be like, oh, well, if I wear my bonnet, he's still gonna find me. Says who?
Yeah. Yep.
Says who? Like, don't ever think that that's all right. And men, when you're single, keep yourself up. Get in the shower that day, or like make sure you're groomed.
Actually, men also, you need to be working on yourself, building yourself, filling yourself up with as much. Do you know how many things I wish I knew before I got married that would have saved my wife and I so many headaches? Mm-hmm. If I learned how to be more emotionally available, or if I, learn these things, and it's not hard to do. It's easy to do. You can look around and see examples and just follow. This is the exact key to be successful in everything. Find a person that's done it and do what they did, and you will get there. So study, look, just work on yourself. And
don't be ruining your credit.
Yep.
Build your credit while you're single.
If you need help learning how, I can help you. I could show you some tricks to get your credit up without having to do anything crazy. Very simple things.
Without getting into more debt. Because that's what they be doing. They be like, fix your credit. And then they put you in more debt.
A lot of it is they're so busy in school teaching you trigonometry and all sorts of garbage you're never going to use it. That they leave out all the good stuff.
Of course.
And then
the good stuff is passed down from generations that don't hit black communities.
Right.
Because it's a whole lot of things that I didn't learn until I was an adult. Until I, started owning a business. Like, I didn't know certain things. Those certain things, that information was hidden, from us for a very long time.
Yeah.
Generational wealth, we were just like, what is that? Had to Google it.
Yeah.
The fact that I didn't understand that you could start a business without a college degree.
Yeah.
That was internet.
Yeah.
Teaching these things. And white people knew this forever.
Yeah.
Asians knew this forever.
Yeah.
Arabs knew this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew except for us. So they had already was building, generational wealth, businesses, buildings, and we just now getting started.
So a lot of things when you're, if you're rushing into it, they're just going to fall apart anyway.
Hi, Kwame.
they're gonna fall apart regardless if you rush in and you're trying to. So whatever it is, make sure that it's in the right time. Make sure you've prepared, done the work, put in the time, and then whatever it is that you're looking for, you will be successful. And you might not know the right time, you might not know you might not know where you're going. So while you're on your journey, just study, prepare to get to the place you're trying to go.
So Franny said, when men leave the house with them old slippers and socks rolled over sweatpants. So listen, Franny said, can't nobody marry me with them old slippers on, okay? So listen, just make sure you keep yourself up. Like, do you want to be found or not? Like, you can't see a diamond, on the ground if it's looking like a rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep yourself polished and trimmed and looking nice. Keep your nails clipped. Men smell good. Like, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Patience. Gotta wait for it.
It's key.
Let me see. Lorenzo says, I got my LLC to start building business credit, and my personal credit isn't even where it's supposed to be. LOL. Patience is
definitely the key.
Is it supposed to say definitely the key? Yeah. Patience is definitely the key. Absolutely.
Have patience with your kids.
Absolutely.
Have patience with your parents, because they're not perfect.
Not perfect.
They
Come
are
on.
flawed human beings just like you. Your boss at work. If you're the boss, the people underneath you
are not some mud to step in.
Yep. Like, patience.
Right.
And we all, as patient as we all are, and I tend to think I'm a pretty patient person.
What'd I do?
What'd you do?
I meant to do something else. Okay, keep going.
I forgot what I was going to say. Or I forgot what I said.
Me too. I'm just touching stuff on accident. Experience Life said, this is crazy. I have such a crazy story about waiting for my husband, and literally yesterday I was telling God, why do I need to wait? Here you come with this video. You need to wait. Let me tell you something.
Whoo! Tell him.
Let me tell you something. When you overly eager, okay, no. We're gonna back it up to this week. Took our son to go to self-defense, right? Took him because he loves to fight. He loves to fight, wrestle, all that stuff. So we said, okay, we're going to get him in this. So we go, and the man is super nice. He's talking to us. What did he say, husband? What did he say? You don't remember?
What did he say?
He said
a whole bunch of stuff.
He said, it's always the ones who are really anxious to fight that need to not fight.
Yep.
That's what he said.
Yep.
He said it's the ones who are really anxious to fight.
Because they'll be fighting everybody.
That need to not fight, because they'll fight any and everybody.
Yep.
Let me tell you this, Experience Life. Waiting on your husband is something that you should do, is wait, but not something you pursue or keep asking God about, because that means you need to wait. Okay? Oftentimes when people are waiting to be married, and women specifically, because I can talk about it, we get promiscuous. Like, oh, he could be the one.
Yep.
And sometimes if you don't have self-control, you can start sleeping with these people.
Yep.
When you don't have self-control, you can start, touching and feeling and doing stuff you ain't got no business, opening doors. So,
can I tell them about you?
Just wait.
Can I tell them about you?
Wait. Hold on. Yes, you can tell them about me. But just wait on your husband, because I know that there is probably a reason. I know for a fact that there is a reason. And like I talked about earlier, I don't know if you were here, but we talked about knowing yourself. And how at 31, I'm still learning that I have learned behavior that I think, it's just, my reaction. It's not just my reaction. That's something that I needed to get out of me, and still do. And I didn't realize that. And God keeps telling me, okay, self-sabotage, that's something that you do. You do it. You did it when you were a kid. You did it when you were a teenager. You did it when you got married. You do it when you're still married. Yep. Self-sabotage is something that you need to deal with, Tasha. Yep. And that's what God told me. So even at 31 years old, I'm still learning who I am. You know what I mean? Like, and what I need to fix. So listen, just be patient with yourself. Keep building you, and I promise you, your husband is going to come like this. I'm telling y'all, he's going to come like this. That's how it happened for me. And I'm not saying every situation is the same, but I do know God's order. He's not going to give it to the overzealous one. He's not going to bring a husband to somebody who just super, you know, oh, I got to be married. I got to be married.
And those people,
and I knew somebody like that. Overly jumping into marriage. Don't do that. Good. Don't do that.
Me?
No. I'm saying don't do that. Don't just jump into it. When you least expect it, the right one will come.
Okay,
when you align yourself.
Let's give a real life example. So when I met my wife, I would constantly try to have her come over to my house. I lived alone. Just me and my dog. My real big dog.
He was huge. Or she was huge.
She was huge. That was the only woman so she would come over and then she'd leave and be like, no, you can spend the night. You're more than welcome to spend the night.
Right.
I even tried you can spend the night, you can sleep in my bed and I'll sleep on the couch. Mm-hmm. I tried everything you could think of and she continued to leave. I'm like, what is going on with this girl? So I was around a bunch of guys and I was like, you know, I'm seeing this girl. She's amazing. She's gorgeous, beautiful, blah blah blah. But I think she might be a guy because she won't stay at the house. She won't give me a flower. No, nothing. Like nothing. So don't turn red.
You make me blush.
and so. And sure enough, you know, we ended up married but I think one of those reasons why we ended up married was because she wouldn't spend the night. She wouldn't.
I wasn't cooking for you.
She wasn't cooking for me. She wouldn't give me. You cooked one time for me, and I think that was only because I had cooked a ton.
Yeah, he did. He used to cook for me. Let's be very clear.
I did.
He used to be like, "Come over, I'm gonna cook for you." He used to cook me steaks, mashed potatoes, all types of stuff. And I used to be like, okay, I'm going home now.
Yeah, I'd be like, what do you mean you going home? I just spent like $100 on 2 steaks. You better not go home.
Exactly. And I used to be like,
she would not give me a flower.
And let me tell you something.
Her flower at all. It just wasn't till it got to the point where I was convinced she was a guy.
Listen, I'm like, yep. Something else is wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's not right here.
Yep. Listen, and let me tell y'all this. It didn't just stop at food. He used to cook me food. I used to be like, I'm not cooking for you. I'm not cleaning your house. I'm not doing I'm not moving in here. I'm not doing any of this. And what did he do? He would come over to my mother's house and fix my car in the driveway. Like, he would pop up at my house with flowers. And I'm saying all that to say this. Let these men pursue you.
Yeah, men don't want the easy layup.
Let these men pursue you. Don't always be, texting, calling. Like, of course, if it's mutual, do that. But if it's you pursuing and listen, a man is going to go after what he wants. If he wants it, he's going to pursue it. If he wants that new car, guess what he's going to do? He's going to pursue that new car. He's going to figure out a way to make, do more doubles at work in order to get that new car. So a man is going to pursue you if he wants you. If he's not pursuing you on a serious level, then he is not the one.
But what she's not saying is if he's texting you and pursuing you, to ignore him.
Yeah.
Don't do that
Don't
either.
do that.
Don't do that. Yes, I showed up and I would fix her car. But those are the things that's women, that's how you know you have a worthy man. if he's doing all these things to demonstrate to you that this is, because if he's showing up to your car or showing up to your house fixing your car, chances are there aren't any other women around that he's doing this with, and because he'd be too caught up doing his other things. Let him pursue you, and then you'll know you're more than likely, if he's not just walking off because he's got to work a little, then more than likely he's a pretty good guy.
Yep, and listen, if it's those guys who, this might hurt your feelings, but if he walks away, let him go.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's better he walk away now than for him to, waste your time for mad years and then walk away.
And marriage is hard, everybody.
And it's easy to walk away.
Yes. Marriage is hard. You got to put in work. So know that the thing that you want is so much work. It's work your whole life. Mm-hmm. Your whole entire life is based on work. This is life for me. I get up in the morning. When my feet hit the floor, I'm immediately thinking, how can I make my family better? What can I do today to be a better husband and a better father? And if you're not looking at your marriage like that, you need to. Every morning, my wife, before we go to bed, she makes the coffee. I wake up, I turn the coffee pot on, and I pour us both coffee, and I bring her coffee. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, she brings me coffee. It's work, guys. Mm-hmm. And if you're not looking at your marriage like that, you need to look at it like that.
Come on.
It's. I think the hardest thing I've ever done in my life was be married.
Hold on. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I want to put this back on there. Experience Life's comment. And what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. But
it'll come.
Oh, I was going to say this. She said, this is crazy. I have such a crazy story about waiting for my husband. And I just want to tell you, I was 23 years old when I got married. I was 22 when I met my husband. I wasn't like, oh, he could be my husband. I wasn't thinking about a husband. I knew I wanted to be married. But I wasn't like, oh, I just want to be married. Because some women are like that. Oh, I just want to be married. No, you want a wedding.
Yeah.
Every woman wants a wedding.
You want to play Disney tales.
A lot of people don't want the marriage.
Right.
The through thick and thin.
Yep.
Sickness, health, good or bad. Okay, yeah. I didn't know what marriage was really about because I didn't see it properly executed.
Yep.
Of course, my grandparents on both sides, but it wasn't in my home,
right.
So I didn't know.
It's different when it's your grandparents because you're seeing it from a third eye,
right? And then it's like, oh, that's my grandparents. Right. They're perfect.
Yeah.
But then you don't see it in your home, and then I wasn't like, oh, I'm just super ready to get married. I wasn't like that, girl. I was doing me, honey. Okay. So do you, boo boo, and it'll come. Trust me. Get married for love. Get married for stability. The coffee. Listen.
No, true story. That's what we do.
Get married for the companionship. That's real life. He bring me my coffee every morning.
You should always be pushing to be the best man you can be because you are the role model for your home.
Yep. Marriage is a ministry. I say it all the time, Kwame. Every single time, marriage is ministry and it's hard work. And that's not the glorious part of it. The wedding is. That's the easy part.
Yeah, true story.
Mm-hmm. You got anything else?
No, because the one I was going to do, I think we should do a whole thing on.
Ooh, okay. You want to mention it?
You don't love God the way you love me.
Ooh. Okay. What you saying? Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we'll be doing that video tomorrow. Why is this shirt doing this? Just bunch of.
Y'all got anything for us? Questions?
All right. Any questions before we get off of here, guys? Or did we pretty much cover everything?
Oh, everybody wish wish my wife a happy birthday. Birthday just went by.
Birthday did just go by.
Our anniversary just went by.
Our anniversary just went by. Listen, so on this time off, again, I've been gone for about 2 weeks. And I have been doing stuff. Y'all know I went horseback riding. Like, I have been doing some stuff. So.
Hockey game, football game, apple picking.
Yeah. Well, done did some stuff. So, like, live your life, okay?
Preparation for fasting.
Preparation for fasting. Thank you, guys. Please scroll. Oh, scroll up. What did Franny say? Please scroll.
I'm scrolling too.
Yes. How can we encourage a male who was raised by his mom acts a little feminine without demeaning him? He's effeminate.
How old? Wait a minute.
Yeah, how old is he? Yeah, because that matters. How old is he?
That matters.
Yeah, that's a conversation for a grown man. Like, not age-wise, but, like, mentally. Thank you, guys. 8 long,
over 35?
hard years.
Over 35.
You know what? If it were me, I would approach it with love. But you also can't approach that if that's not what you've been giving him. But if you've been giving him, love, he would take it as love. If you've been, cussing him out, he'll take it as disrespect. You get what I'm saying? Right?
Yep.
Like, if it's a season in our marriage, if I'm coming off a little harsh, and it's not what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it, or how he's perceiving it.
The first thing out of your mouth should be blank. You know I love you.
Yeah, not
so
gay.
I'm only saying this, out of love, and then go from there. Say, you.
But wait, is he your husband? Is it your husband, or is it just a friend? Or because that matters too. Like, if it's just a friend, then you could just kick it with him and just listen. You got a little bit too much dip on your chip, or whatever they be saying. Don't they say that, dip on your chip?
I never heard that, but who am I?
Whew, they be saying.
If they don't, they will now.
Yeah, tell a little too much. Let me see. But if it's if y'all are courting, then that's a conversation y'all definitely need to have.
Yeah. And just be honest. If you are courting, just be honest, or even if you're not, and it's just be honest and say, you know what? Listen, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of a way that I would say it, because
the way you would accept it.
The way I would say
tell her the way you would accept it. Like, what would you accept?
I don't even know how it would even be said to me, so I can't.
You think that it'll be like disrespect from each angle, like love?
No. What I'm thinking is that if you say it and just be upfront and honest about it, and just say, listen, I'm not. I love you. Mm-hmm. Whatever dynamic is in between the two.
Where did that question go that I saw? I wanted to put it on here and answer it. Where'd it go? And why is this freezing? Like, Amelia. Hold on. No. Hold on. Where's that question I'm looking for, y'all?
What question?
Gosh.
What question?
Somebody asked the question.
You're really scrolling.
Yeah, somebody asked the question. Oh, I can't find it. I can't remember who it was either. Was it about fasting?
Yeah, preparation, fasting, preparation.
And it was another one, too.
About fasting?
No, not about fasting.
Oh, shoot. When's the next teen night?
Wow. It's been a minute. Maybe we'll do an annual one.
Right.
Thank you, Experience Life.
Yeah, that's true, D. Not every guy is like that.
What?
Not every guy is rough around the edges. He's just a little more.
Yeah, that's true. He might.
And it all depends on how you were raised.
Raised by a mother. Some men are emotional, and it doesn't make you any less a man. You just got a little emotion in you. I mean, it's not wrong for a man to express his emotions, but you just can't stay there. It's not healthy for a woman to see a man always emotional.
See, but I look at it as, how I am. If it was somebody around me, I would be out and blunt with it. Yeah. What are you switching for?
No, she said he's not gay. She said he just reacts a little overly emotional. Or
I would say, but that's what I'm saying. I'd be like, what's with the emotion?
But wait, sometimes, because again, we talked about this in our lives, we don't realize that that's learned behavior, and it became a habit.
Right.
So it's a habit for him to overreact because that's what he's seen his mom do.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I would be like, yo, what's with the emotion? Like, let him explain it. That way, it's brought up, and maybe he doesn't even realize he's doing it, and goes, oh,
exactly.
But
he might not even know.
But if you don't bring it up,
right?
So you gotta just be out front with him, and be like, yo, what's with this?
Right.
And then gives him the chance to look in the mirror and say, wait a minute, am I doing this?
Right.
Is this something I need to work on? Listen, because no matter what a guy tells you, when you say something to him,
he evaluates himself.
He looks in the mirror at it.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that hasn't ever been said to me where I'm like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
Is this what's going on right now?
Yeah.
And, and come back and either fix it or just be like, no, it's just what it is. Like, I like this part. Like, I like not being emotional, and so I'm not going to be emotional because it allows me to make more clear decisions with no emotion involved in it. Because sometimes those, certain decisions are hard to make if, you let your emotions involved.
That's true.
So
emotional decisions.
Yeah.
I heard Stephen Darby say he talked about effeminate men, and I didn't realize that was a thing. But I'm happy I listened to him talk about that because I'm raising a son.
Yeah. See, I keep all that stuff way away.
Absolutely. Like I'm raising a son, so I never stop learning.
Yeah.
Ever. But definitely mention it and just say I don't even know.
Take the area that is
the specific area.
The specific area. Bring it up.
The most important part.
In the most blunt way. In love. Don't bash. Don't accuse.
Don't beat him down.
And just if it's an emotional thing, be like, yeah, hey, what's going on with the emotions? And
I wouldn't even say that. Like, I feel like that's...
See, I'm different because I'm talking to another man right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at you talking, but in reality, I'm talking to another guy that's like... And I'm like, hey...
Do it in a way that you speak.
Like, if you ask me to talk to your brother about something, what do you think I'm going to do?
Well, I know you.
I'm going to, be like, hey...
But it's from a woman to a man. Yeah. So, like, a lot of times with women, it's not what we say, it's how we say it.
Yeah.
It's how we approach things.
How many times? Yeah, because I said that a lot to you.
And take them out to eat or something. I don't know. Be in a restaurant. Go get coffee or something when y'all doing it, so that he can't react emotionally in front of everybody. Let me see. Yeah, he's not flamboyant. He was just effeminate, and a lot of guys, young men are.
No, Devin. And I'm going to tell you why.
What he say?
I'm going to explain to you why. Because this isn't my calling. I'm only here to support my wife, help her out, and it's not about me at all. It's about giving a man's perspective on things, and that's it. Look, too many times, and I don't ever want the spotlight to ever be off of what this is really about. Like, it's not about
our family on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's not
or
that, yeah.
you know, any
or
of
about
that
our
stuff,
kids,
or our kids, or anything,
or revealing our house, or it's not a vlogging channel.
It, like, my wife has very, very nice things in her closet, and when I ask her why she doesn't wear them, she says, well, because I don't want anybody to ever be envious of me. And that's what, you know, then I'm in the video, and now it's a husband and wife team, and it's not. Right. It's a wife team, or it's a wife thing with the husband just passing her the ball. And that's it. Nothing more.
And we just shooting threes.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Period. Okay. But that was a good question, Devin.
Yes, it was, Devin.
The next teen night. Devin, email me. Let's put something together. We could do that. I don't even know where the teens are. I haven't seen Tyrion. You know what? He emailed me. So let's put something together, Devin. That would be great. That would make my heart smile.
Okay, now that
you want to go live,
JJ? With me? Now that is a good point. I see where you're coming from. Okay, all right. No, I see why.
Yeah, why they want to see your face.
Okay, good.
But you know
Fair
why?
Enough.
Let me give my perspective on not sharing my husband and my kids.
Now that's different.
Listen,
D.
There are so many people on YouTube labeled power couples. There are so many pastors and prophetess and talk about God's word who are labeled power couples, and all you get to see is the glitz and the glam. Sorry.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
How about not hitting me?
No, I didn't hit you. Like, you know what I did.
I know what you did, but you still hit me. She tried to kill a fly and she just smacked my face.
I did not. I popped your hat.
Which what?
I'm sorry. Okay? But anyways, you see all of these like power couple people, and it's all about them. I don't ever want God to look at me and say, you've made this all about y'all. Or even me. I have to be very careful what I wear on here. I have to be very careful, you know, that I'm not in a face full of makeup. You know, you might see me in some lashes, but I don't make sure that, oh, my appearance is on 1,000, because I don't ever want y'all to think, oh, this is about me, because it's not. It's never been. And the way I've suffered, I know it ain't about me. So I humbly get on here. Humbly. You know, taking attention away from myself and putting it on God. Like, I don't want to share God's spotlight. Like, I don't want to share God's spotlight. No, I'd rather people hear what I have to say than concern themselves with how I look. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, I never, like, this is not about me. And it's definitely not going to be about us. Yeah.
And D, it's different if I meet you in person.
Right.
If I meet you in person and we're face to face, then that's totally different than being, you know, on camera. And to be honest with you, I'm not the one for cameras. Like, even taking pictures and stuff like that, I don't do that.
You don't do none of that.
Like, I don't want to be in pictures. I'm good. I got enough work and stuff to do of my own, and things to do, and I don't need the extra work.
Yeah, like, if you say you really about something, then you gonna look different from all the other people who out here doing it. You know? Who out here claiming to be what you know you are. Like, I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what I'm called to do.
You know,
I know all of that stuff.
And I'm not called to do this.
And I don't boast. I don't boast about any of it. It's no point. And I'm definitely not gonna, you know, make it all about me. It's not about me. It's never been about me. So how are people gonna know the real from the fake? You got to do stuff differently, and it's hard. Okay, because it's like, you know, they done made it harder for you.
No.
Them people, all them people with all their followings and all of this stuff, they made it harder for somebody like me, that I get so discouraged that I shut down sometimes.
Yeah.
Then I have to fill my time with horseback riding.
Yeah.
And apple picking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they've made it harder for somebody like me. I have to look different from them. I have to do things differently from them. Amelia says, this is why I separate my personal life from my true calling. Absolutely. From my true calling and business on social media. At the end of the day, what business? At the end of the day, I would rather be private and focus on spreading the gospel than seeking popularity. And that's what that's what people are thriving off of: popularity and attention. Like
it's a big popularity contest, and then say, "Well, let me tell you what God said."
Yeah.
Like, nah, and I'll never be the one sitting next to my wife saying anything about God told me this or that's just words you'll never hear out of my mouth because that's not what I'm called to be.
Right. Or
I'm a soldier. That's it. I'm a soldier
on the front line. That's it. Right. And knowing, and a lot of people, and their wives or spouses or whatever, even sometimes the pastor's children, they just follow in their, you know, they follow in that person's footsteps, even though they're not called to it.
Yeah, because it's a big hustle.
Because it's a business.
Yeah.
And they make money.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This channel don't make money.
No, okay? It costs us money.
Like, it costs me my peace of mind sometimes. Like, this channel does not make money.
She gets emails where she'll come up to me and be all upset about what somebody said, and they dead wrong, and they just going off and, you know, saying ridiculous stuff.
Amelia, oh my goodness, we're gonna buy some books.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy some books and give them away.
Promote you. We will do whatever we can to push it.
I had no idea, Amelia. Oh my goodness.
And that goes for any one of you guys.
Yeah, like, if you have a business,
we don't ever we want to elevate everybody that's around us. Like, you need to start, you know, lifting each other up, because if we don't lift each other up, who will?
Right. Look at these sleeves.
Well, they so busy pushing us down and telling us that you're wrong for thinking what you're thinking or feeling the way you feel, or, you know. So we all need to start lifting each other up, and we're willing to do that for anybody here.
Absolutely.
Whatever, you know, your endeavor is.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just encouraging words just to get through the day.
Absolutely. Amelia, we're definitely going to buy some books, and I'm going to give them away on here. Nick says, people want the spotlight until it comes to spiritual warfare. This is exactly what I talk about. Like, people, I heard, hubby, you brought up earlier, some lady going around claiming she's a prophet.
Oh, yeah.
In one of the small towns here. Oh. And I'm just like, let me talk to her.
Yeah, that's
what I said. Let me talk to her. And it like, how have you suffered, ma'am? Have you really suffered? Have you really been homeless? Have you really gone through the struggle? Oh. Have you really, how does God speak? How does God speak to you?
Pennies out of the cushion, buy noodles to eat.
Yes. What is God saying about, the end times? What is God saying about any of this? Like, don't talk about you a prophet and you ain't never suffered, because I get offended. You know why I get offended? Because I've suffered.
Yeah.
Just as a follower of Christ, just straight up suffered. Like, don't do that, ma'am. Don't go around here lying and trying to get offerings and stuff. Like, y'all don't care about hell?
Right.
Y'all people gonna bust hell wide open.
Because they don't believe in hell, because they don't believe the things that they're saying.
Right. You can't possibly believe what you're saying and still saying it.
Yeah.
Still robbing people.
That's how you know that they don't believe in the things they're saying, because if they did, they wouldn't say half the things they say. How God's about to bless somebody with a new house, and a new car, a new job, and millions of dollars.
That's wild.
Listen, newsflash, not everybody's meant to be a millionaire. Mm-mm. Because if God gave you the money, you destroy yourself.
Blow it.
No, not blow it. Destroy yourself.
Yeah, self-destruct.
You would do everything wrong with it. Would you help anybody with it?
No.
Would you give most of it away to everybody? Because I know for a fact my wife would. I got to stop her from giving away everything. She would give our house if she could. Like, this girl sometimes drives me crazy where I'm like, no, you cannot give that person any money.
Yep, you do.
I know I do.
I always do it. Remind them about the rich man and Lazarus. Yep. But not even that, Nick. What about the scripture where it says, you know, I cast out demons in your name. I did this in your name, that in your name. And he going to say, depart from me, because I never knew you. I never knew you. So you was collecting offerings off my name and making money off my word, and you ain't suffer. I don't know you. You ain't pray to me. You was too busy to pray for me. You booked and busy.
Praying to the almighty dollar.
Yeah. God was your money. Mammon.
Getting all these pastors getting caught out there with side chicks, and it's crazy.
But the thing is like, that's where self-control comes in. But that's a different topic.
And then you get that, and then that's why half the people are like, I don't want to. If that's what it is to be a Christian, then count me out.
People be like, what?
No, thank
listen.
you.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna pray us out. Amelia, I cannot believe you have a book, girl. I'm about to message you. Lord Heavenly Father, I thank you. I thank you for your grace, your mercy, your kindness. I thank you for all that you're doing and all that you're going to do, Father. I thank you for covering us this far in the year, Lord. We thank you for just keeping us, keeping our minds, Father God, giving us peace, giving us joy, giving us the opportunity to gather together in your name and just fellowship and speak and be wise and share wisdom, Father, with one another. We thank you for the family atmosphere that you've created. We ask that you would just continue to work on us, that we may be the best version of ourselves, so that it will give you glory, Lord. That's all we want. We just want to worship you and live for you. And Lord, we are not perfect, but we are trying, we are striving. In your mighty, holy, and precious name, I ask that you would just continue to keep us from now until the end of the year and on. Father God, we ask that you would just bless the rest of this year. May we finish it out strong. In Jesus' mighty, holy, and precious name, I ask these things. Amen. All right, I love y'all.
You can reach her at the email up here on the screen.
Yes, sir.
If you want to reach me, you can email her, and she will pass it along to me, and I will answer. Men.
Absolutely. I love you guys. All right. Videos coming this week. I'm thankful that this, live broke the ice for me, because I get myself worked up. Okay. 100% human. I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Email me. All that good stuff. God bless. Good night. They say he funny. He alright. No, he really is.